Hi everyone, my name is Melanie, and in August 2021, I went on a 6-week long Interrail trip across Europe. And in the second video, I'm going to show you my trip to Geneva. So I took the train in Luxembourg in the morning and I changed 3 times in the cities of Mulhouse, Basel, and Bern. And I realized I had arrived in Switzerland when suddenly I found myself in the most luxurious and modern train I had ever been in my life. And also when I bought a small bottle of water for which they charged me more than €4. What you are seeing there is Lake Geneva, which for some reason has a completely different name in French since it's called Lac Léman. Lake Geneva is the biggest alpine lake of Europe and it is located between Switzerland and France. I had visited Switzerland before, but I had never been to Geneva, so I was very excited to discover a new city, and I was also very happy to go because one of my friends was living there at the moment, and I met with him for dinner in the evening when I arrived. So, I just arrived in Geneva yesterday night, pretty late, so I just had time to have dinner with my friend Max and his older brother. And right now, I'm in front of the United Nations, so I'm going to show you. It's very pretty with all the flags. It's a pity that the weather is so bad and that due to the pandemic I'm not able to go and visit the building, but I'm very happy to be here and see it finally. There's also this very famous chair. Right now I'm walking around the park of the United Nations, which is called the Park Ariana, I think. And here you see a statue of Gandhi. This is, I think, the building of the International Committee for the Red Cross. So, if it weren't for the rain and the clouds, I think this would have been a very beautiful view. So here you can see the Lake of Geneva and the other side of the lake. Now I'm in the Botanical Garden of Geneva, and apparently there are a lot of little animals like that, like these little ducks. And I'm gonna cross this Botanical Garden in order to get to the other side of the city and get to the old town. And it's a nice little walk. I just got out of the Botanical Garden, and right in front of the exit there's the World Trade Organization. So I think it's all this building. I started walking towards the city center, and here I crossed the Pont du Mont Blanc, which is a bridge with many flags. You can kind of see the big jet d'eau, but they're doing some work on the road, so it's hard to see itself. I'll try to get a better shoot of it from another spot. I was walking in the street and I saw this art gallery where they're selling art pieces, and this one is actually selling a piece of, I guess, something from ancient Egypt. That's insane. I really don't know how much that is. I finally arrived in the old town of Geneva, and this is the Place du Bourg du Four. This is the Court of Justice with the Swiss and the Geneva flag. Behind these houses, you can see the cathedral. This is a close-up look at the St. Peter Cathedral of Geneva. This cathedral has played an important role in the history of Geneva for many reasons, but maybe most importantly because it was originally a Catholic place of worship. But during the 16th century, it was from this cathedral that John Calvin preached Protestantism. The cathedral was originally built in a Romanesque style with some Gothic influence, and today the building shows a mix of different artistic and architectural styles, and the facade is neoclassical. This building over there is the City Hall. It was built in the 15th century, and some very important national and international events took place inside its walls. For example, in 1864, it is here that the first Geneva Convention was signed. Right in front of the City Hall, there was the old arsenal, which showed cannons that used to defend the bulwarks of the city. And behind them, there were 3 big mosaics, which showed 3 key moments of the history of Geneva. While walking in the cute little streets of the old town, I passed in front of the house of Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the philosopher of the Enlightenment. And a few steps away, I saw the house where the Argentinian writer Jorge Luis Borges spent the last years of his life. I also passed in front of the super cute bookstore, which, as the title said, was selling beautiful books. Here, I was standing on top of the city wall, which dates back to the 16th century, and I was looking at the view of Geneva. This is the Palais Hénard, which is a building that hosts the Administrative Council of Geneva, and it was built in 1821. This is the Grand Théâtre, which is located in a square called Place de Neuve. Right across from it, there is a park called Parc des Bastions, in which I wandered around. And inside the park, there is the International Monument to the Reformation, which was constructed in 1909 to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Calvin's birth and the 350th anniversary of the foundation of the Academy, which is now called the University of Geneva. I then decided to go watch the famous jet d'eau, or water fountain, and I learned that the reason why it existed is because originally the company which was responsible to distribute water to the city of Geneva needed to decrease the pressure in the pipes, so it let big amounts of water go out through the safety valve. And over time, the mayor of the city realized that people started to come just to watch it, so the city decided to keep it as a tourist attraction. So I'm still under the rain in Geneva. It hasn't stopped since this morning. But I decided that I had an umbrella, so I could go and visit, and I've actually been able to do a lot of stuff. I've been visiting the old town, which is gorgeous, and now I just saw the jet d'eau, so the huge water, I don't know the word in English, like the huge fountain in the middle of the Geneva lake, and I was very impressed because I didn't expect it to be so big, and it was really nice, and there was actually a sort of access in the lake where you could walk to get really close to it, but it's very windy, so we couldn't get too close to the jet d'eau because we were getting the water on us and we would have gotten really wet. And now I'm just walking on the port of the Geneva lake, and there are a lot of boats and a lot of ducks that are sleeping on the lake, which is super cute. And this is actually a really nice place to walk. There are a lot of trees, and I can see a lot of beautiful buildings. So even though it's raining, it's honestly really worth it, and I really like it, and it's super pretty. Then I walked in the English gardens and I saw the horloge fleurie, which literally means the flowered clock. I went back to the city center and I decided to walk in the streets where all the biggest luxury brands had a store, and it was super beautiful to look at all their windows. In the evening, I went to my friend's house to have dinner with him and his brother, which was really fun, and then we said goodbye to each other. And the next day, I took the train to go visit my next destination, Lucerne. It was a pity that it rained while I was there, but despite that, I really loved Geneva because it was a really gorgeous city.